This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Southampton Select Board for September 23rd, 2025 at about 7:05 p.m. And if we can start by standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance, please. A pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks. All right.
You want to flag down Easthampton, or are you okay?
Well, I did flag them down.
All right.
Scott, you want to text them?
Not my job.
Okay. Yeah, they know we're meeting, so. Okay, let's keep on going with the agenda. If we can do that, they will catch up with us, I guess. All right, so on the next up, is anybody here for Citizen Speak, which is basically 5 minutes open time for the public. Anybody has anything to say? Come on up and introduce yourself and your address, basically, where you are in town.
My name is James John Sear.
Okay.
Owner of 77 Pequot Road, and I'm putting a request for a meeting with the select board about the problems I'm dealing with this property. I have a lawyer, and he's been putting in emails, and we haven't been getting answers. So I would like to get some answers on what information I was sent on the general law, complaints of neighbors, and going against the zoning law. They're denying me my septic system. So,
Okay.
how would I get a meeting? Through email?
We'd have to be having you actually be on the agenda for an agenda item. Is that how that would work? I mean, you've had a meeting with the building commissioner?
This is in litigation. He's represented by counsel as well as the town at this point, so I wouldn't recommend any communications with him right now.
Okay.
Any communication should go through counsel.
Through counsel? Okay. Well, so that would be the request on that then through your lawyers to our lawyers? Is that it, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess because you're already in litigation?
Many lawyers, and they delayed, and it's getting delayed even more. So I'm a property owner, I'm a taxpayer, I know my rights. I need to get the information for what you're putting me under. List of neighbors, zoning bylaws, the general law they put me under isn't even in effect in this area.
Okay, I guess I'm not totally aware of the whole situation, obviously. I mean, you've been dealing with other people in town. But I think if you've got a lawyer there, that's what the list of issues would be. I would assume that would go to our legal counsel as
He's
well.
more of a zoning law lawyer, not a board of health. Well, I passed a complaint on the septic system, so I should not be denied.
Okay. All right.
So the select board and the board of health meeting is what I got. Charlie Kinnicky sent me the information, and that's why it's wrong.
Okay, I guess I'm feeling a little bit blindsided, guys. I don't know the history here, Scott, so I mean, what would we?
I would just, I mean, this is not, it's to engage in public speak, so it's up for the person that's speaking to say whatever. I wouldn't recommend engaging or saying anything at this point.
Okay, all right. All right, so I mean, I think you can, you said that you'd like a meeting, and so go ahead if you've got more to say to us then. Go ahead and say if you've got more to say. We don't debate anything during this open time. We just hear what you have to say and then figure out what has to happen, so.
Well, I just want to finish being 100% compliant on these properties. Industrial property, I've known since I was 5 years old. I know the history, pre-existing grandfather clauses, and I've got a lot of delays going on 10 years of going to property. So I want to be able to put my septic system in there. And I'm getting old, and when I retire, I want to sell this property 100% compliant. Now, I knew when I bought this property, I already had a pre-existing septic system. Now, when you have that system, and then you have another perk test, and it passed, you are compliant on it, then you're okay to put the septic system in. But the only reason I'm getting denied is because of problems. I won't go further with saying that. But, so are you, Mr. Town Administrator, are you saying you can't plan a meeting through me?
I think through your council is what you're saying, right?
If I might, so I don't know all the details surrounding this, but I'm assuming if you're representing that it's in current litigation, then that tells me that we've engaged KP Law, right?
We have a law firm, yes.
Is it KP Law or somebody different?
Somebody different.
Okay, so I think we, the select board, can provide the name of the law firm and the attorney appointed to represent us who's speaking on our behalf to Mr. Sear, right, Sear?
They've been in contact already.
But just formally, whether we do it tonight or not, but I mean, as a result, we're not going to be able to answer questions or go back and forth without hearing from this attorney that's representing the town. So if you want to have a meeting, it's got to be facilitated through that attorney, and then that attorney needs to tell us that, yes, you should have the meeting, or no, you shouldn't have the meeting.
So you're saying you're bringing KP Law back in?
Well, no, he said it's a different, he said he said it was a different firm.
Different.
Well, it's
I said KP Law because that's generally town council.
I'm saying he has an attorney. Any communication should be, especially regard to law, legal aspects, interpretation of law, bylaw, zoning, anything needs to go from any person to their council, from their council to our council, and then to us.
I agree with that. But I think as far as this body, the only formal action this body can be is that we formally put in writing the name of our law firm, the attorney, and the phone number. And then it's up to whether you represent yourself or you have a representative. That's the extent we can do until the lawyer on our side says, yes, talk, no, don't talk.
So is that
Second
information
that
already
motion.
passed to that? That's already been passed to Mr. Sear and/or his lawyer?
Yep.
Okay.
I think John's asking for a point of courtesy, given that we can't do anything else.
So according to Scott, though, this has already been passed. So you're just asking that we put it in writing?
Just formalize it. I mean, he's here, he took time out of the evening to come
Yeah,
down
no,
here,
that's
he is a resident, so we just formally document,
Okay.
here's what we did, and, I mean, you get lawyers involved, things take their
So
own
we can,
course of
we
action.
can either, send a letter out, send an email, whatever, with that information about who to contact, so that your lawyer knows who to contact. Okay.
because I mean, I talk to my lawyer, he says they're not answering me back. You're a lawyer, you're putting in emails, why is this town not answering me back? So I will go and I will talk to the select board. I'm the
Okay.
property owner, taxpayer, and paying the lawyer.
Okay. Well, I think we have a motion basically to move forward with putting something in writing, just to give you the name of the attorney that would be representing the town and that contact information,
Well,
so.
now that I heard that, I get an email of that anyways, I've already dealt with that going on 6 years ago, KP Law.
It-
So,
Not,
But it's not KP Law.
well, what law is that?
that's what
That's
we
what I'm
will
saying,
put in
we'll
writing.
formally put it in writing, so it's
That
documented.
was the name that.
That's usually
Well,
our
it
town
might- It
council.
might have been, and generally KP, I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
Generally, I realize I'm speaking over
No.
the chair. Generally, KP Law is our legal counsel. However, I'm, based on the town administrator's answer, I suspect that there's somebody that has a specialty other than KP Law, and I don't know the name of that law firm. So we want to give you that
You
name.
guys have another law firm?
It's Faber and Lindley, 30 Boltwood Walk in Amherst, Massachusetts.
So now that you have that, my lawyer will be getting an email then of this information?
I can,
Re-forward it.
Because you're a lawyer.
You need-
so you know you have to,
you need to contact your lawyer. You need to contact your lawyer.
okay.
Okay,
I hope you're back from vacation.
okay. Thank you very
He's a
much.
semi-retired guy, but he knows his own laws. But he's a very nice guy.
All right,
Thank you for
thank
your
you.
time.
All right.
Nice meeting you all.
You'll be getting something in email or whatever, however we get it in writing to you, yeah, to your lawyer, I guess, right, too? Yep, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I think we really don't have Easthampton Media here. Are they checking in with us at all?
I just texted them again.
Kind of unusual to not have them on here. It was later on the day. Did he unplug something today? Could be.
Just texted them again. We are live on the air. They said they're live, so.
Okay. All right, well, let's keep going then. Okay, so next up, I guess, town administrator report. Scott?
So if anyone wants some blueberry pancakes, please stop by between 9 and 10 tomorrow at the Council on Aging. We have the fire chief's secret recipe.
Yeah.
Do you have strong coffee?
It's definitely not a pre-mix from Costco or anything like that, but.
I think there will be coffee, yeah, right.
Thank you both.
So is fire chief and police chief joining you?
Yeah, they're going to do all the hard work.
Okay, all right.
I'm just going to taste test, so.
Sounds good. So from 9 to 10 at the senior center tomorrow? Okay.
The DLS is going to be coming out again tomorrow for their second visit with the town's financial team as well as Hampshire Regionals. So we're talking about ways that we can do efficiency. We already talked about the payroll, which I think that we're still aiming for January, but there's a lot of other stuff that we need to start talking about as well. And they're invited for pancakes as well.
So Scott, just clarity, the purpose of them is to really help us look at streamlining things and automating things?
Processes and procedures, responsibilities, deadlines, set up a calendar.
Okay.
So, and they're going to make a lot of recommendations on what we need to do internally. But this is just, again, this is going to be multiple, many meetings with them.
Yeah.
So this is just number 2 out of probably dozens.
Okay.
So we are in when it rains, it pours. We're doing a lot of procurement right now. The first sub-bids for the highway heating system were open last Friday. The RFP for the 1 or 2 units of affordable housing by the Southampton Housing Authority, that was posted as well. The pre-bid meeting for the masonry work at Old Town Hall also took place a week and a half ago. So it looks like we're going to have some bidders on everything. We just hope that obviously they come within the amount that we have available. And we're going to be opening up the heating system general contractor bids. We just did the heating last week, this Friday. So I attended the virtual informational session for the GIC. A lot of it was things that I was already aware of following the GIC, but then I was able to ask a few questions, which clarified a lot of things that they do on how they set their rates and how they do plan design changes and when they do them. So talk a little about that in the executive session. We did have a good meeting with the members of the school committee and Superintendent Perone last week as well to talk about the insurance issues and update them on some of the financial issues. And I know, Chris, you'll talk a little bit more about it, but the media embargo has been lifted on the MVP grant, and I'll let you go for that one.
I'll do it when I
You
get to
put
my
in the hard
report.
work, so.
Yeah, we are the recipient of a grant for MVP. I'll get into it when I do my spiel, but yeah. Anybody have any questions for Scott? Just maybe one other thing, or maybe you'll come up with it later on, but you had mentioned, I think, that we're going to have the auditors coming in soon for our next.
Oh, yes, I was going to do it in the update, the FY23 audit.
Okay, for the 23 audit, to present those findings and have questions from us on that, so, okay. Good. If nothing else, anybody have any meetings that they have attended, anything to share?
For the town administrator.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know that you emailed him on an item that's not on his report, but we've discussed previously Scott doing his evaluations of all the direct reports
correct.
to him.
Right.
And I understand 2 out of 8 are in progress or substantially finished, and that's great. And we need to understand what the plan is for the next 6.
Right. Yeah, Scott, I know you've got a couple of the evaluations that you've been working on. Are there others that are in progress, or?
Yeah, I have the next 2, so I have to meet with the 2 employees and then just to finalize the goals, and then I have 2 more in the hopper.
Good, okay.
It feels that this administrative detail, important as it is for our people, always comes at crisis time when you can least breathe.
Right, exactly.
To think creatively, but it is important, and it's meant to support the employees.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Thank you for mentioning that. Yep. Okay, Ellen, any meetings, anything to report at all? I know if you've had a chance to attend anything? I think there'll be a couple coming up if they haven't been scheduled. I know you may have something.
I haven't since August, community preservation, I haven't this month so far.
Okay.
But, we'll take a look.
Okay, I think they'll have a meeting, community preservation, I'm thinking, yeah, they should be meeting somewhere in the next couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure. So just take a look on the schedule on that, but yeah, okay. Yeah, Stephen.
Let's see if I can do it alphabetically.
Let's not forget our mics, guys. We always kind of sit back here. We got to make sure.
First, a confession.
No, just, we always forget how poor the acoustics are in this room.
To that point, I'm going to ask that we get a satellite microphone and speaker to go on the table in the upstairs conference room. Something better than relying on the screen. Okay. Alphabetical order. Assessors, my confession. Thank you for publishing the list of liaisons on the town website. It reminded me that I've not looked at the calendar for assessors.
Okay.
I have looked for greenways, and it's later in the month. The key thing is tomorrow night, the Housing Authority will meet, and we had a good session of planning for College Highway today, coming up later as a mention at least. So they're very much on board. Well, you'll cover that. There's one I'm missing, but that's
it.
all that's happened.
Okay, all right. Very good.
Open Space Committee.
Open Space, yeah.
I am pleased to read that the update on our open space and recreation plan to earn us 3 more years of eligibility was acknowledged and agreed to. So that's the final step, and thank you everyone who facilitated that. When Mark Cassis comes back from his travels, we will have a little wine and cheese party for him.
I know, you put a lot of work into it.
Several grants.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay,
Good, that's it.
John?
My update, obviously, I've had the North School Committee meeting. The topic of the health insurance increase is, front and center to that. And then maybe it's appropriate to bring it up now, but if the chair can tell me to be quiet, we can bring it up later. But we just had a joint session with the other 4 community select boards, and their Southampton made a motion that the other communities followed. We're waiting to hear on Goshen because they didn't have a presence, but we agreed to have the 5 chairs of the select boards and the appropriate chairs of the finance committees author a letter that's in draft form to send out, and that each committee, their chair or their designee, get together to strategize, kind of like a subcommittee, to take no action, but to have free-forming conversations about other things that we can do potentially around regionalizing, consolidation, budget savings as a group and a collaborative, and that, we're moving forward with that. I obviously will defer to the chair to be that point person. I have no objection filling in.
The letter would be sent to, just to clarify, to finish your thought on the letter would be sent to?
Oh, and the letter would go to all the state delegation, all representatives, senators at the state level that represent the 5 communities, which I believe are 3 representatives and 2 senators currently as our body makes up, urging them to adequately fund the rural communities, whether it be rural aid, school transportation, Chapter 70 funds, kind of in the spirit of the auditor's letter findings from, I believe, 3 years ago.
Yeah, auditor bump, yeah, exactly.
That we just cannot continue to go the way we're going. We need assistance from Boston. We continue to send our tax dollars to the Boston Treasury. We're just asking for our fair share to come back to our community.
And even though we did get a little bit of a bump this year on some of the things, unrestricted government aid and so forth, I think, right? It still isn't enough to cover so much of what we need to do. So anyway, but yeah.
But the hopes is as a body, as a group,
we might have a stronger
weight
voice
than
yeah,
one individual.
Right. I think because, we tried a couple of individual letters. I know we did, and I think other towns may have done that too, but I think we can keep on trying. I mean, nothing moves fast, so, I mean,
Right.
can't hold out lots and lots of hope, but you don't gain anything unless you try it. So I think we're willing to give it a show, so. All right, if nothing else, I've just got a couple things. So the Master Plan Implementation Committee met last week, just as usual, just trying to review the status of the goals and strategies that were put forth in the master plan update that was developed back in about 2021. So we're trying to meet probably quarterly. We've been a little bit remiss. It's been hard to get people together, and a couple members are missing, but we did have a quorum to get together and kind of go over the actions that are being taken at various levels that respond to the 7 or 8 chapters of the master plan. And we'll have another meeting before the end of the calendar year to really do more updates on that.
Question?
Yeah.
Planning and conservation. Do you have participation from those?
We have a delegate from planning.
I know it's the intention. The question is it functioning?
Was not able to come to the last meeting, and conservation does not have a delegate. I had written out to actually Mark at Open Space asking whether they might want to send somebody or not. And so we need to get
There are
somebody in there.
a lot of action items and a fair amount of accomplishments that
Yeah.
are missing
Yeah.
if they're not engaged.
Correct, yeah, no, there is especially, and that's why I didn't know, between the two, it would be nice to have somebody from those committees attend. That's supposed to be a delegate from those groups. There's one
Or
from,
look at why they're disengaged from the process.
yeah, well, and there's one from Historical, I know, there's one from the Housing Authority, and one from Park Commission that were able to be there the other night. And so we'll keep plugging away at it. Scott mentioned that we got a grant, so let me just give you a couple-minute history. This is finally some first news about a grant that we've been working on this year. So back in 2021, the town actually undertook a planning process for what is called the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, MVP, and we did that with a group called Fuss & O'Neill, and they're a civil and environmental engineering firm out of, well, they have a local office in in Springfield, but they are pretty much New England-based, I think. So that, having gone through the planning process, that allowed us to actually apply for an action grant. And so I believe through Randall's office, they had tried to apply for a culvert study about 2 years ago maybe, and unfortunately that didn't get funded by MVP, but it got funded through a different mechanism. So we worked again to see if we could come up with something, and looking at the priorities and so forth that were in the MVP planning process. So we have just gotten word pretty much over the last couple weeks that we have received an order. This has been kind of embargoed until the governor's office announces these things, but we have received an action grant award from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs in the amount of $82,770. And the name of our project, we had to name our project, was called Project Stay Cool, Empowering Southampton Against Extreme Heat. So this is kind of an interesting one. But, so with the changes in climate and so forth going on, and people are aware of things here, the grant doesn't require any match from the town, so that's a good part. And basically, we're going to do a variety of things, but one of them aims to conduct a feasibility study for an emergency cooling and air quality center at William E. Norris. And then because of the increasingly unpredictable weather patterns and the risk of extreme temperatures, we looked at a variety of climate maps and all the data that's been gathered at the state level. We felt that this was in aligning with the priority from the planning process that had been done. We needed to have an accessible facility where vulnerable members of the community could seek refuge if they needed to, if there was a prolonged power outage, a severe storm, extreme heat event, etc. So part of the study we'll do is going to assess, Fuss & O'Neill will be helping us with this, guiding us through this. They're going to assess the school's infrastructure requirements, looking at technologies and funding sources, other operational logistics, but trying to look at the HVAC system in particular to see what could be done. They're going to take a look too and see whether any kind of solar is possible on the roof of the school. So they're going to look at the structural integrity of the school. They're going to look at a variety of things like that. And then we're going to have a broader community engagement program that will focus both on the youth at the school. Hopefully, we can bring in the athletes that are part of SYAA, and certainly our seniors through the COA as our vulnerable populations, most vulnerable populations in town, to go through a variety of things. There'll be a survey and a few other activities that we'll do, and the grant has got to be completed by the end of June. Fuss and O'Neill will be helping us through this, and there'll be a kickoff meeting probably sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'd say mid-October probably at this point in time. So just want to say that, finally we feel like we've got something under our belt, that, the work that we've been trying to do, and we'll hope that we've got other news to share, but this is the first grant program that's at least been announced, so we're lucky to have this. So I'm hoping that everybody is happy that we have this and we can move forward with it. Yeah.
So here we are at the end of September. We've got 9 months until the end of June.
Right.
You're saying all the work has to be completed and billed by the end of June?
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there'll be some key people, we'll see who needs to be involved from our level, other town departments, but certainly people from the school, and COA, SYA, hopefully we can drag some of those folks in, huh?
It's great.
Yeah.
And it's non-trivial. It's not just hooking up air conditioning.
Well, and they're going to be looking too, I think, at, if you've been, I know John knows, the sort of the backside of Norris, all the playing fields there, it's a hot box on a summer day, or, there's no shade, there's a lot of tarmac, there's, it just radiates heat, right? And so I think they're going to be trying to look at other ways to help maybe mitigate some of that too. So we'll see how it goes. But we know these consultants that had helped us earlier on, so it's great that they're willing to be engaged with us again and guide the town through this process. So.
Again,
good news,
congratulations.
at least. Yeah.
Is there any other grant information? We've been hanging on pins and needles.
No, nothing for Mass Trails yet. That would have been on the Greenway, and nothing on the Manhattan Sanctuary Bridge, both with Mass Trails.
Right.
The Assistance to Firefighters grant for the tanker and the SCBA units, nothing has come through on that. Those started being announced last year in July, and we were done by the end of September. They haven't announced one, and this is a nationwide competitive grant. So that's a federal one. So I don't know. We may be.
That's the big one.
We may be pushing our luck on a FEMA grant, but this one at least is a state grant. So we're relatively safe with this one as far as we know, and very pleased to have that. So okay. All right. If no questions on that, into new business.
Madam Chair?
Oh, sorry.
Madam Chair, if I might, recognizing the fact that our fire chief's been on duty since 8 a.m. this morning, could we go out of order and take up PCF for Benjamin Fisher, new hire, part-time, as-needed, non-benefited paramedic, firefighter status 2758 with an effective date of 9/23?
Okay.
With the chair's leave, I offer a second.
All right. Chief, would you like to
That was a motion, actually.
Let Chief say anything if you'd like to?
No.
Sure.
Rich Fasoli, Fire Chief. So Ben Fisher, he's currently a lieutenant on the Granby Fire. He started out actually on Southampton Fire back in 2017. Left in 2019, spent 4 years over in East Longmeadow Fire. In the last 2, he's been in Granby. He still has family in town, so that's why he wants to come back and help out.
Nice. Okay. All right, good. And he'd be kind of as needed if he's full-time elsewhere, so he'll fill in some open shifts. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I hear unanimous. Thank you very much. So
All right,
thank you.
We'll sign off on the PCF later on. Thanks, John, for calling that to my attention. Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Calling that to my attention. That was on the agenda here. All right. So let me just pull out here one more thing. Stephen alluded to it,
sorry,
and
I stole your
no, that's fine. If we remember at our, maybe not the last meeting, but an earlier meeting, somewhere within the last couple of meetings, Mark Cassis from the Open Space Committee came before us and asked that we sign off on a letter to go for basically putting forth the update that the Open Space Committee had done to do an action plan for the town of Southampton with their open space and recreation plan. And that was really trying to extend the goals and objectives of it over a 10-year period. And by doing that, rather than having to do the entire plan all over again, that allowed us to hopefully have an extension and so forth. And so we submitted that, and literally within a week-ish, I got a letter dated September 10th, again from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, saying, thanks for submitting the updated action plan for the town's open space and recreation plan, extending the goals and objectives over 10 years. I'm pleased to write that the plan has received an additional 3 years of approval, and the town is eligible to apply for DCS grants through January 2031. And this is from the grant program supervisor, Melissa Cryan, at that office. So that's great news. So congratulations too to all the Open Space Committee people and various others that probably were involved with Mark in putting this together. It does, help to have a little bit of a streamlined process and keep us moving forward. And so many of these things, I know people think that we do a lot of plans or a lot of feasibility studies or whatever, but sometimes it's what you need. You've got to have some foundation documents to be able to go to the state or to go to FEMA in this case, in other cases rather, to even apply for a grant. So you've got to have, something in hand. You can't go empty-handed. So this at least gets us farther down the line with that. So great news. And Mark has been on leave, so I tried to email him this. Hopefully he's seen it, but he'll see it when he gets back. So perfect. All right. Next up, any land use planning update? Scott, anything? Have you guys got something? Or?
I had to leave the meeting a little bit early today, so I'd rely on Stephen to see what the final result
no
is.
fight broke out.
I think there was, Dodson and Flinker did a really great job with PVPC, and I think there was two very, very good options that we looked at. I think people are going to be very happy with.
These would have had representatives of the various committees that are involved. Okay.
That's right. This is our internal, not full public, but includes housing and a commercial interest who couldn't make it today. But yeah, really good discussion, really good site planning. Even though we don't have identified funding or even final plans for either of the public buildings, this is essential work to ensure that any one of the pieces is not hung up or not conflicting with the other uses that are envisioned, and to generate as much synergy, particularly where that will result in cost savings, whether it's sharing parking, sharing septic facilities, or otherwise. So we really got into that additionally. And PVPC brought forward a nice piece, which was looking at the progression from pre-development to development and the public funding sources most appropriate to each stage and activity.
Great.
And it's organized. There's nothing dramatically new, but it's organized well, and from it we can make a calendar of activities.
Sounds good. Okay. So is the next step then another public meeting, or what happens next on this? Where does it go?
I think I exited right before we decided.
Okay.
I think Dodson and Flinker have to finalize the plans, and depending on what that is, we've had a pretty extensive public process already, so we'll have to discuss what the next step is.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, we're kind of getting to the end of it, so there can't be that many changes.
Right. But we need to be able to present it to.
Yeah, the report will be made public.
Yeah.
The question is whether a workshop like we've had in the past, which is largely seeking input, is appropriate at this point.
Yeah.
And it's a concept, it's a vision. It is not a decision. So do we need to get everybody out on a Saturday morning to look at it another time? It's a question. If we can make it digestible and available, that is...
Well, or maybe there could be an information session or something via Zoom or something like that would at least,
very much a kind of thing.
rather than an in-person meeting like that would allow people to ask questions or, clarify certain things. I think that would be advisable if we can do that, depending on when they get it all put together. But great, no, that's good. I'm glad that's come together. All right, anything else on that? No?
Thank you.
Okay. 250th anniversary, not a whole lot going on. We had a talk at the Senior Center recently about the West Part Cemetery. There'll be another talk by one of the Cultural Council grantees on the burial grounds in Southampton throughout its history, and that'll be at the library on the 25th of this month, which is a couple of days away. It's at 5:30.
And if you missed it, you can do what I did and see it on YouTube.
The one from the Judith Conlon did? Or-
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
That was really...
That was recorded,
a
yeah.
wonderful, informative presentation, but it was delightfully delivered.
Yeah,
I
so
know you were there, but
we had
I'll say my
Easthampton
own
Media
piece.
come in. No, we had Easthampton Media come in and tape that. So it's finally up on their site, as should be linked on our website as well. So that's great.
And Barry Searle's piece that he did with the Historic Society about the founding families is
Yep.
also available there.
Yeah, so that's there too. So great. So there'll be a couple of more things happening. We'll keep announcing those as we go along. We're still in a evolving process, still planning, but we've got a lot of ideas for December. We've got to get through October and November with some ideas too, but we'll keep you informed. We were going to do this, I think people knew that we were trying to pull off a theatrical event, a town play, written by a couple of former, now deceased residents that have been longtime residents in town. And unfortunately, we had auditions. We had about 6 people that are more than willing to show up, and another 4 that were having issues just in terms of timing and rehearsal times and so forth. So we decided that it was better to try and push it off and see if we could maybe do it later on, even if it's nothing to do with the 250th. So we may have a theater event, because there was some interest in it, but it was too quick to try and get everything done and have a November production time. So we'll come back to that at some point, perhaps. All right, any other business that can't wait?
I have something, but I think it's under old business, but missing.
Okay, I'll come back to that. I have one thing, and I just got an email a couple of days ago from Kim Schott, the chair of the Norris School Committee, just advising us that the school committee will be negotiating contracts with the Norris bargaining units this year. And so she's writing to invite a select board member or someone to attend the school committee executive sessions that pertain to these negotiations. So I think it's something, I don't know, John, if in the past there's been somebody from select board?
Yeah, well, prior to 5 years ago, before I held both seats.
Okay.
So for the past 5 years, I've done it.
Okay.
But prior to that, John Martin
Oh, that's right.
was the
Okay.
representative.
He would have been on from
for the
select
town
board.
side.
Got it, okay. All right, so that's one thing I don't know that we need, she didn't give me a deadline in terms of when they needed to decide.
No, but I would say that, I mean, knowing both sides of the argument, my preference would be, in lieu of a select board member, to appoint the town administrator to attend those executive sessions in our absence. I know from, if I put my school committee hat on, our Attorney Dupre's office says that, you know, they can't give us an opinion whether or not the select board can do that because they work for the school committee.
Oh, okay.
So I would like, through the chair, if we could just email KP Law and ask
And reach out?
if, is that within our jurisdiction?
Yeah.
Can we appoint?
Can we do
Because
that?
specifically the issues that are going to be coming up and that, and knowing that negotiations are at 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
I think the town administrator would serve this body well, and versus one of the 4 of us sitting there.
Sure,
But
yeah. No, and I will freely say that I have had some exposure to union negotiations, but nowhere near enough to carry my weight in that, so.
And I would just also add, me filling the role then puts 3 school committee members
Correct.
out of 5, which creates the quorum.
Yeah, so, okay. So Scott, we may try to reach out and then just see if we can do that, and then we'd bring that back at our next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, Kimberly didn't say no, she didn't say yes either. So if KP Law says yes, the select board,
Okay.
much like we authorize the chair to act in our capacity,
Right.
can we, as the body, authorize the town administrator to be our eyes and ears at the table and report back?
Yeah, okay. Would he have a voting right, or?
I believe Kim's intention is for the government body representative to be present in executive sessions with the school committee only, not at the table.
Not at the table, okay, got it, okay.
Which then also gives us our conduit back and forth.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that I'm self-conscious about, and I know Kimberly is too, that this is not the only union
Right.
we are negotiating with. So we want to try and have some consistency,
Yeah,
given the
right.
difficult times we're facing here.
Certainly, yeah, and Scott is certainly our lead person, talking to
Right.
our police and our highway unions as well. So it would make a whole lot of sense, and Scott's own background also leads to that conclusion. So if nobody has any objection to that idea, that we reach out, I'll reach out to KP Law and just get an opinion that it's okay to have.
And if they say no, I suggest Stephen do it. Just get that out there right now.
I was
Okay,
going to second your motion. You're on your own now.
all right. Yeah, do we need that as a motion?
Do we need to vote to authorize engaging counsel?
Well, we need,
I
don't
think
so.
the
We're just
chair
gonna-
can do it.
We're just going to reach out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really getting them on board to do anything. It's just a quick yay or nay opinion kind of thing.
Agreed.
So, all right, we'll take that up, and then we'll bring that back at our next meeting in terms of what that response is, okay? Okay, anybody else have any other business that can't wait? We're meeting again, just to clarify here, we're meeting 3 weeks out on the 14th, not on the 7th. Is that right, Scott? And that's partly because that's when CBIZ, our auditors, can come and meet with us. So we'll have a meeting on the, well, I'm jumping ahead, but we'll have a meeting on the 14th and on the 28th. Normally, we would have met on the 7th, but we're going to try and entertain the auditor's schedule and have Tanya or somebody else come in and talk to us about the audit findings for 2023, which will be good. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, Stephen, we got a bunch of warrants. We'll turn it
How
over
did
to you.
this happen? All right, since we last reported, the following warrants have been prepared, authorized, and money's at the door. They are W26-1A, the amount is $5,995 even. That's a general warrant. W26-5A, the amount is $72.80. P26-6, the amount is $308.88. PD26-6, the amount is $52,199.17. W26-7, the amount is $323,950.91. W26-7A, the amount is $43.92. P26-8, the amount is $312,411.32. W26-9, the amount is $131,688.90. P26-10, the amount is $346,797. Let me do that again. The amount is $346,797.98. And finally, W26-11, the amount is $185,478.35.
Okay,
That's all the news I've got.
all right, thank you much. Hopefully, we will have, certainly sometime in October, we'll have our, I know we had a recent revenue and expense report from Bradley, I think about a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago now. So we'll have another one where we would probably look more closely at just the overall revenue and expense situation. And as we start spending money here, keep spending money, just to check where we are on that too. Okay, we have a license permit. We have a one-day wine and malt permit if somebody would like to.
Motion to approve a one-day wine and malt for Pamela Gasber, Conant Park, Saturday, September 27th, 2025, from noon until 7 p.m. The purposes is a family picnic.
All right, have a second, please.
Second that?
Ellen, second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, motion is approved.
Without exception, move to take up as a package the minutes of June 30th, 2025, August 19th, 2025, and September 12th, 2025.
Okay.
Second?
All right. I have one, I can't find it right now. I believe it's only on the last one. It might have been the June one. There's one that had a couple of typos in it, which I can just work with Judy on. One was Chief Fasoli's name was spelled wrong, and a couple of other things that were just minor typos.
Thank you.
So
It's nice to have that correct.
Well, I'd like to get correct in the minutes. I mean, for the record, since they do get put out there. So yeah, well, I can't put my fingers on it
So
right
as
now.
usual, the motion incorporates the notion that editorial corrections can be made by the chair and
Okay.
the clerk.
Well, typos, spelling corrections, basically, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. I don't think there was anything else.
Nothing
basically.
substantive, no.
I don't think it was anything substantive at all. It was just a couple of things, and I thought I had highlighted them, but they didn't seem to take. But anyway, I believe they were both in the June 25 minutes. So with that, if we have a motion to do that with any corrections.
Agreed.
All right, okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. So be it. Old business, so Scott, we've already talked about the 23 audit. That's basically in final form from them, and so we will have them in on the 14th. How are we doing, rather, with the FY24 audit? How is the Treasurer's Office doing? Are we getting a little bit closer with items that are being submitted, or?
I think we're still treading water on 24.
Yeah, okay,
Is there anything that we can do
yeah.
to assist, or is it's just going to take some time?
I'm going to talk to Megan tomorrow and see if there's anything that we can do now that we're wrapping up 23.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that would be helpful. I mean, if there's, if there's anything really, whatever we can do to help facilitate that, that would be great. Okay. Any other news on anything from the old business?
the door openers were delivered today.
Oh, my goodness, very good.
Turns out there was a spending limit on our debit card.
Oh, okay.
This is like the project, this is Groundhog Day. These ADA,
I tell you. I'm going to be very glad to get them off the old business agenda. I'm tired of looking at them. Good. Now, but now, of course, the issue is, programming them, and Dave has got to get them programmed, right, so that they actually do open and close the door correctly, so.
I feel like we need to do a field trip when they're up and running for the cameras.
Exactly.
We've been talking about it.
I know. That's great. All right. All right. I don't think there's anything else there, so, yeah, go ahead.
Street, tip, et cetera, if that can expand to include PEC and DOT. The issue came up several weeks ago that each town in the Pioneer Valley Planning Council is entitled to two
Right.
already paid for traffic counts.
Traffic counts, right.
And so the question was, would we take the appropriate action to cause one to be conducted at College Highway frontage, where we had a recent fatality,
Yeah.
essentially in that area. And the sense of this board was yes, but we need to clear it with our police chief and our highway superintendent. And in real time today, I got their voiced assent, and town administrator heard it, and PVPC heard it. But I think, Madam Chair, we might need a letter.
Okay. You want to draft something for me?
Oh, sure.
All right. Now, well, since you know the particulars of how they would approve these, I mean, under what guise they approve
I'll
this.
figure it out.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
think they need to hear from an executive.
Sure, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to sign it, sure. Yeah,
Super. Okay,
that's fine.
thanks.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so that basically concludes the public session of our select board meeting. We will be going into executive session, and this will be per MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, and this is regarding health insurance.
So moved.
All right, so take a motion to adjourn, second?
Second.
All right, and all those in favor?
Lumber, aye.
Aye.
Johnson, aye?
All right. All right, so we will be moving into executive session and not coming back.